Well, guys, you know the expression, you meet good people in high places? That's what's happening here right now in AVN 2018. The Trendsetter here, Brian, for the High Spot Podcast, Adventures the Trendsetter. Here with Cameron, Canela. Cameron, how are you today?
I am excellent, thank you for asking. Are you enjoying your first AVN?
Well, this is my first AVN, my first time here in Las Vegas. You've been here quite a bit. How would you describe the atmosphere here for people who have never been here?
Almost indescribable, life-changing experience. Nothing like you can expect, and yet everything you expect. Absolutely need to come in order to have a full life experience, I think.
I would completely agree. Could it be better said than that? Cameron, when obviously arriving here too, I always like to ask the talent this question because I think it's really relevant. For example, when you come here and you meet a lot of people that are followers of you, admirers of yours, want to kind of say they appreciate your work. I mean, what's that like from the talent's perspective? Is it kind of like a little surreal? Is it overwhelming at times when you hear that?
So this is my second year working here, but technically my third AVN. So every year has been a little bit different and just kind of a progression of how I feel in my career and also just my interaction with fans. So this year, like I said, I've already worked, so I was kind of already expecting what it was going to be like. But it's still so weird to me for anyone to ever look at me as like someone who's famous or like, I don't know, like a pseudo celebrity, because I just feel like a normal person. And so when I'm talking to everyone, I'm like, oh, hi. And then they're like, oh, wow, you're saying hello to me. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're right there. So I think it's really fun to interact with everyone, but I don't think I'll ever get used to the fact that people kind of look at me as like somewhat different than they are, even though I feel like it's just all the same. But then it was really funny the first time I was ever here. I was more of a fan, and so I remember kind of exactly what it felt like being so overwhelmed and looking at everything and kind of having to walk around like 3 or 4 times to catch everything. So it's now fun to just watch that in other people's faces.
How does that change from the perspective of your fan and now you're actually in it?
It's kind of surreal because when you're a fan, obviously you're not really thinking you're ever going to become a porn star, right? Like with my circumstance, it was that case.
I'm sure people think they can be, but not a lot of people can.
Exactly. Or actually like fully accomplish it, and all of a sudden, you know, I never dreamed I would be at an AVN, and then I have been here for 3 years, and it's really awesome. And at Porno Booth, so I just could not have ever expected this, and it's been a blessing. So,
you talk to me a little bit about this whole model program you have here for Pornhub. What's that about?
So originally started as an amateur program where people who just wanted to upload stuff that they made at home, like fun home movie style amateur stuff, would end up being able to get paid by ad revenue based off of how many people were viewing it. So then a lot of the models actually in the industry started seeing that might be something they wanted to utilize. But obviously none of them are amateurs, so what they ended up doing was creating the model program for them to have a platform to utilize the same tools and create their own money and not rely on other people to make money for their own content, you know?
That's a great thing you're talking about, because for me, 9 to 5 doesn't work anymore, or 3 to 11 or something like that. It's, making your own hours and basically making money on your record and owning your own content. So, we cover professional wrestling on the High Spot Podcast, so I would have to ask you, have you ever watched professional wrestling?
Not professional wrestling. I do watch the MMA and stuff from time to time. And of course the most popular boxing, last 2 most popular boxing matches we had, Pacquiao and obviously McGregor. But as far as wrestling, no.
I mean Mayweather and McGregor.
No, Pacquiao, I was talking about the 2 different fights. Oh. Pacquiao's fight with Mayweather. Mayweather was in both of them. I was just like, we all know who they fought, right? But anyway, so as far as wrestling though, I do follow all the girls that are in it, but I don't actually watch it. Is that kind of funny? That's how social media is. So I know a lot of people who follow porn stars but don't even know that they're actually in porn. They're just follow them on Instagram. So that's kind of how I am with those girls.
Cameron, I thank you so much for a few minutes of your time here. One more thing for me is, 2017's right behind us, and now it's 2018's the new year. So what kind of accomplishments, I wouldn't even say New Year's resolutions, what type of personal accomplishments do you hope to achieve in the new year?
Oh my gosh, I actually just found out what I wanted to do, and I know one of them was I wanted to learn Spanish or start really taking that seriously. There was some other one, I can't remember, but I tweeted it. But yeah, one of them was Spanish. That's the one I'm actually really focused on.
I would think you would already know. I speak Spanish. You have some Hispanic descent behind you?
I am. I'm actually Cuban and Puerto Rican. My mother's entirely Cuban and Puerto Rican, but she's kind of mean and was like, I don't want you to know what I'm saying about you when I'm talking about you in front of you, so I'm not going to teach you Spanish. So that's also why I want to learn Spanish, so I can talk about people and they not know what I'm saying.
So, ¿tú puedes entenderlo o no puedes hablarlo?
I can understand some, but I can't speak it, because it's like, then I have to translate, you know what I mean? So...
Well, Cameron, I thank you so much for your time. It's greatly appreciated by me. So before we end this all, people say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And with social media and cameras all over the place, it doesn't happen. It's not true anymore. But what I want to do is want to include you into a special group club called The Crew. That's followers of the High Spot podcast. And to be a member of it, it's really simple. Quick initiation. All you got to do is take your middle finger, ring finger, and thumb, put it together like this, and fingers up, and touch right there. And now it's official. Cameron Canela is a member of The Crew. Too sweet, meaning that... The Canela Crew. Wow, we can actually rename it now just specifically for her. And what that means is basically everybody follows us, and myself included, and the guy behind the camera is we'll follow you, we'll support you, and we'll always have your back in everything you do.
Awesome. I will follow you guys back. Thank you guys for coming.
Cameron Canela, ladies and gentlemen.